Hi everyone, welcome back to another video in The Sims 4. So today we are going to be building in Solani and basically building, it's almost like a modern beach house. I haven't decided 100% yet if it's like just going to be called High Tech Mansion or if it's actually going to be called like a superhero's house. The only reason I say that is because there's kind of like a few features in the house that could make it really perfect if you're Sim, not necessarily a superhero because obviously you don't get superheroes in this game, but if they're in like the criminal career or the leader of the free world career, it could just be quite a nice escape house for them. So maybe they own this house and another house somewhere else. I'm not sure if you can do that actually. I know you can own two houses if one of the houses is in a holiday world, but I'm not sure if you can own two houses if it's like a. Actually, I don't even know if you can own two houses. Anyway, I'm rambling on about nothing. But yeah, so essentially it's just like a nice modern house. It's not too big, not compared to some of the recent mansions I built, which have been absolutely massive. This is just a nice, small little mansion with it's not got too many like extra features, just kind of everything you need. And yeah, it's just a nice place to live. Now, when building this, it was kind of this is almost my dream house, but the main thing that's not dream house about it is its location. So obviously the whole point of this house is to be built on like a remote island, but to be honest, in reality, like for me at least, it wouldn't be very convenient to live in a remote island. And also, it's just not like I like going on holiday to these places, but actually living in a remote island just isn't kind of like isn't my ideal place to live. I like the look of it. I think it'd be fun, but basically, like my current job, like I work in London, so I'm quite used to the city, and also I like being in the city. And I think it'd be quite a hard thing for me to get used to, like a remote island living. So yeah, I wouldn't be looking to move to an island anytime soon. But if there was a building like this, perhaps on like a hillside, in a hot country, because in England it's pretty cold, so like you tend not to really have like outdoor pools and all that kind of vibe. So, but something similar on a hillside with a great view of London would be right up my street. But anyway, it's not that, so let's just enjoy it for what it is. But as you can see, like I don't often build in Solani, and the kind of main reason for that is there's quite a lot of limitations when building in this world. The first one is you can't use the terrain editing tools, which is kind of annoying because like there's been a few like times where I'm like, oh, if only I could use terrain tools in this lot, I could really make something special. But you can't do it, so it is what it is. Another limitation as well is you can't build any basements. So kind of the workaround for this is because basically I wanted there to be a basement in this house because I just feel like it's quite handy to have a basement because you can put kind of the rooms that typically you don't want to have a lot of natural light. So for example, a movie theatre or maybe a laundry room or whatever you want to do with the basement you can do, but it's just nice to have that kind of dark enclosed area so you can put those utility areas or whatever you need to do you can put down in that basement and it's just out of the way but it's still accessible because it's literally just a floor below. So the way I kind of made this house look like it's got a basement is it's actually 3 floors, but only 2 floors have got like windows that look out to the view. The first floor is the ground floor is just completely covered by like rocks. There's a couple of windows at the back of the lot. Well, I say the back of the lot, the front of the lot, just a little peephole windows, just so there is some natural light going into those rooms at the back. Because I had the ability to do it, but in general, it basically I class it as the basement. So just to clear up some confusion as well, if I say the ground floor, I'm basically talking about the floor that's on street level or like the first level that you build on. And then if I say the first floor, I'm talking about the level above that. So in some countries, I believe the first floor, what I'm referring to as the first floor, you might refer to as the second floor. And what I'm referring to as the ground floor, you would call the first floor. And you wouldn't have a thing like a ground floor or a lower ground floor. It would just be first floor, basement floor. Here it is ground floor, basement floor, and then above the ground floor is the first floor. That's just how it is in the UK. I think it's like that in most countries as well, but just in case it isn't, or just in case you're not familiar with how that's kind of worded, I just thought I'd let you know. But yeah. But as you can see, another limitation of the lots is you cannot build swimming pools on the ground floor. You can build them on the first floor, but just not the ground floor. So basically what I've done is I used the foundation tool to create like a a wall round, like where obviously it's an ocean lot, you can create walls in using the basement tool, not basement tool, the foundation tool. So that makes it give the effect that there's actually another swimming pool. And basically, it's got like this cool idea. So there's a saltwater pool at the bottom in the ocean, and then a freshwater pool at the top, where the main house is. I just thought it was a nice idea, and obviously they joined together by that waterfall. But obviously, a bit confusing because obviously one's saltwater, one's freshwater, so you just pump in fresh water into the kind of saltwater pool. But actually, I guess those two pools at the top aren't connected, so one of them could just be saltwater. Actually, so that works actually. To be fair. Anyway, enough about the swimming pools. Actually, before I stop about swimming pools, you'll notice that I've been scaling up the lane markers. If you don't know what the lane marker is, it's basically just a white object that you can use in the pool to mark out like different lanes to swim in. But if you scale them up, you can create almost like floor pieces. So I use that. So basically, the saltwater pool at the very bottom, where I used the foundation tool to create the walls, that would have had like a different terrain floor because obviously where the terrain of the lot naturally curves into the ocean. But I didn't want that, so I used, as you can see actually, I'm doing it there as well. Basically trying to create like a fountain by the entrance of the house. Thought it looked really nice. But yeah, use the lane markers basically to I used the lane markers to create like a floor piece that just basically covered the entire kind of swimming pool area, and it gives it the look that it's actually a real swimming pool rather than it just being a bit of the ocean that's carved out. And I have play tested it, and it is fully functional, that pool area. There's ladders to go down into it, and there's a couple of like inflatables in there you can use as well. And in fact, everything in this house is functional that I'm aware of. The only thing I think I didn't test is basically downstairs on the first floor. This is where I talk about it being like a superhero house. Sorry, on the ground floor, technically the basement, there's a escape route with a couple of jet skis. Sims can walk onto the ocean bit, but I'm not sure if they can get the jet skis. So that's one to test out. But to be honest, the jet skis are there just more for show anyway. Because I think if you tell your sim to go somewhere and they've got a jet ski on their lot, they'll just take it anyway. I don't think it matters where it is. So just thought I'd share that as well. But it is play tested, and you'll see in the screenshots at the end as well that I have actually got a sim moved in, and I made them look like a superhero. So I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. But just going for like, yeah, obviously it's a modern white-walled beach house, but I've put a couple of like natural colour tones in as well. So there's like a couple of like almost turquoise walls just accented around the place. And there's a lot of like modern artwork. So there's a lot of sculptures in the garden area. There's a lot of sculptures at the front of the house, and all the like the paintings inside the house. A lot of the times when I'm doing a build, especially the build that I've done previously, so that was the most expensive mansion that I've ever built in the game. If you haven't seen that, definitely recommend checking out my channel. While you're there, obviously hit the subscribe button because there's a lot of good content I think coming up that you'll enjoy. But anyway, that build that's about 30 million, there was no way there was enough paintings in the game just to have a different painting to not be. Sorry, let me start again. There wasn't enough paintings in the game to not duplicate some of the paintings. I had to reuse some of the paintings, otherwise it just wouldn't. There wasn't enough paintings for the style of the build that it was. However, this build, where there's only limited wall space for painting, just because there's quite a lot of glass, each wall space that I did put a paint in, it's a different, unique painting. So you won't see the same painting twice, if that makes sense. Which is something I thought was really cool. It just gives it a much more personal vibe when you're in the house. And yeah, I just thought it was a really nice idea. Today, as you can see as well, just building the pool at the moment, you can see I was placing those lane markers and making them bigger. And basically just gives the effect that the floor is actually like a clean white and it just overflows into the wall. Obviously, you can't get a clear white floor like that in the game normally, so you have to use the lane markers to do it, which is a little bit annoying, but Sims can walk over it, so it's absolutely fine, which is good. And then, yeah, the actual entrance of this house ended up being really nice. It's quite like, quite secluded, but it does the job it needs to do, so it's nice and I don't know, it's welcoming, but it's not too like. This house isn't supposed to be too showy offy. Like it's supposed to just be a nice place for your Sims to live. But yeah, one thing I did want to mention, if you haven't seen it already, or if you're new to the channel, I did recently rebrand the actual channel. So I want to say about 3 months ago, I did a rebrand, and basically it was the channel originally was a mixture of like the banner page. It was like half of it was Sims, half of it was Grand Theft Auto. But I've kind of realised actually I'm not probably going to be making many more Grand Theft Auto videos, if any at all, just because it's not really content that I like producing, and also I kind of just prefer making Sims videos. So the channel's been rebranded now to get rid of anything that was Grand Theft Auto themed. So it's all just purely based around The Sims. If you're familiar with the brand Supreme, this is by accident, but when I basically designed kind of like the font, the graphics on the channel art, I didn't intentionally make it look like the Supreme logo, but there's kind of hints that it does look a bit like the Supreme logo. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, just in case you think I copied the logo, I didn't. It just, when I finished it, I looked at it, I was like, oh, this looks like something from Supreme. But anyway, it's not, it's just, that's how it ended up being. But I think it looks good, so I'm going to leave it anyway. But yeah, definitely go and check out the channel. And let me know what you think of my videos, what you think could be better. I have actually, this is the first video where I'm using a different video editor as well. So hopefully I can make the videos a little bit more streamlined. And I can just cut out, like the previous video editor I was using, it was really annoying to kind of crop footage or cut out footage. Whereas this one, I can kind of just run through the video at a nice speed. Got a much better playback, so I'm not a laggy playback than one I was using before. Once I sped up the video to like 8 times, the playback was just so choppy and laggy, it was really hard to kind of rewatch it. So I used to have to upload it and save it. It was just very long. But at least with this video, with this new video editor, I can, it's much easier just to crop out sections. So like if there's a really boring bit, like for example, there's a bit earlier in the build where I couldn't decide on what height I wanted this platform in the garden. Literally took me it was literally a minute of footage. It was just really tedious, boring. That I probably would have included in using the previous video editor, but this time I was able to cut it out just nice and cleanly. Anyway, enough of video editing as well, because as you know, I'm not really I'm very much a beginner when it comes to editing videos. Like it's not the most enjoyable thing for me. Like I'm enjoying it more, especially with this new software, and I think I'll continue to enjoy it. But just for me, I love just building the houses, but it's kind of a shame just to build a house and then no one really sees it. So kind of YouTube is a good way to just share that build. And if anyone likes the way that I build, then definitely follow me on YouTube so that you can keep up to date with all the builds that are coming out, because I do try and build as often as I can. Fortunately, I've actually got the next 3 days off work. So I do work full time. I work as a buyer. I work as an assistant buyer anyway, full time. But yeah, I've got the next 3 days off. I wanted to upload this video actually last week, and this is the second recording. And the reason this hasn't been uploaded earlier is because I had a really bad cough last week. Don't worry, it wasn't COVID. I did get tested. It was not COVID, but it was a really bad cough. And I basically recorded the footage. The footage was already recorded. I've recorded the audio, and I was just breathing really heavily in it. And I was like, no, I can't upload this audio as it is. So I gave myself a week to kind of recover, just get back into a more physical state, and yeah, hence why the video is being recorded today. Today is Thursday, the 4th. No, Thursday the 7th even. 7th of April, which is when I'm doing the voiceover. So the video should be up today as well, or it'll be up tomorrow. Haven't decided yet. But yeah, I wasn't feeling at my best, so I thought, you know what, let's take a bit of time off. I've got 3 days off, including yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and I've got the weekend off anyway. So I've got a bit of time now just to do another build, get a few videos out. Just because the last video was about 3 weeks ago now. Obviously, that last video though was something that I probably won't be rebuilding again, unless anyone wants to challenge me, because I haven't seen any other houses on YouTube that cost 30 million. I haven't seen one that cost 20 million either. If they are there, remember, just comment them below, because I'd love to see them. But yeah, if anyone challenges me at 30 million, then I'll have to go back and challenge them and do one that's more expensive than that. But I'm kind of hoping no one does, just because I don't have the energy to do that at the moment. But it is what it is. But anyway, we're getting into the furnishing of the house now. As you can see, I'm doing like this central fireplace. So basically, it's really annoying. Like in The Sims, you don't have a fireplace like you did in The Sims 3, where basically you could see from one side through to the other. It was like a glass fireplace. You don't have that in this game. You can make them, but I just don't really. I don't really want to do that just because then it's not a fireplace. It's just I think it's like a coffee table with like a fire pit in the middle, and it just doesn't. Your Sims don't use it in the same way. So if you actually have a fireplace, then at least you get the benefits from it. So basically, what I've done is I deleted a little bit of the wall, sunk the fireplace back, and then I put the TV above it because I had to place the archway. And basically, that gave the look that the fireplace was sunken back into the wall, but it also completed the wall around it, so it didn't look out of place. So I thought it was a cool idea. Definitely copy it. It might have been done before. I haven't seen it done. Like, I'm not going to claim that it's my idea because I don't like to claim anything. This is a video game at the end of the day. Like, with millions of people that play it, I'm sure everything that I've done has been done before. Not probably to the exact same floor tiles, exact same design. Like, the designs are different, and that's what makes this game really nice. Is that you can share your kind of ideas, and people can use them to kind of like for inspiration, and then it just makes it a great community to build in. So if you haven't thought of that idea, then go ahead and use it because I'm definitely going to be using it again, especially because I used it in this lot, just not for the fireplace, but also for all the TVs that go on the walls. Just because otherwise you end up having the TVs with like the really big, ugly wall brackets that just stick out of the wall. So I figured I need to use. So I'll use that technique when doing the TVs. Just probably from now on as well, actually, in the game. Just it does look nicer. It keeps it nice and flat to the wall. Much more of a modern look, which I like. And yeah, the kind of layout to the house is all open plan in terms of like the living room, the dining room and the kitchen. And it's interesting actually because I built the kitchen in this house. Yeah, we're about to start building it now, I think. But yeah, you've got like the nice two living rooms. You've got the one at the front, which is like the TV room. And then you've got like the communal living room where you'd have like all your guests over, you might have a party area, whatever you want to do there, but it takes full advantage of obviously the aspect of being on the ocean. And then the TV living room is kind of more focused on the TV. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. And then just building like a nice small kitchen. It's not massive because the house obviously isn't a massive house. But the kitchen is just perfect. Like at first I really didn't like this kitchen. I wasn't happy with where it was in the house. I just wasn't that happy with it. But actually, now that I look back at it, I think actually that's one of my favourite kitchens just because it fits the gap so well. And then this is here, we're in the basement. Just building a cinema, like this is kind of like a unique cinema day because normally I build my cinemas at just square, whereas this one's actually on a diagonal. And I thought it looked really nice when it's done. And this is going back to the superhero kind of aspect where it could be a superhero house. This could be like the briefing room, so if you've got like a mission that you need to do, you could take the Sims down here, brief them on it. Obviously you can't because the Sims doesn't let you have superheroes or whatever. Maybe it does and I don't know about it. Anyway, irrelevant stuff that I'm talking about now, but just that was kind of like the idea is this could be a cinema or it could be a whatever you want room basically. It's just a nice handy room to have in your house. And it's massive, which wasn't intentional, but when you build a diagonal in this game, everything just ends up being bigger, which is just the way it is. And then we're also building a gym here as well, because if it is for a superhero, then obviously you're going to need a gym for them. Like, you're just going to need it. And you'll notice as well, there's like a little door there that goes up to the hot tub with a ladder. Basically, I had to do that because basically where I've sunk the hot tub into the ground, your Sims won't be able to get to it any other way than that ladder. But I didn't want the hot tub to stick out of the ground because it just wouldn't look very good. I did make it look like they could go down some steps using the platforms to get to that hot tub. But because they're on two different levels, they won't use it, which is a bit frustrating, but really there's not a lot you can do, so just left it as it was. And yeah, putting some speakers on the walls, don't often do it. But yeah, just thought it was a nice look. But yeah, it's quite a nice gym. Obviously it doesn't really take advantage of the view, but it does overlook the inside of the swimming pool, which is quite unique, which I thought was cool. And then here we're just building like, this is basically the butler's room, so it's not the nicest bedroom just because if you're kind of living in this house or if you're a guest, you'd want a bedroom that overlooks like the ocean, which the other two guest bedrooms do, but the butler's room, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily have to be a butler's room. You could delete the furniture and make this whatever room you wanted. But yeah, like unfortunately, like, the butler doesn't get the best views, but it's still a nice bedroom. Like it's a big bedroom. There's a lot of TV, or a lot of TVs. There's one TV, but anyway, like me personally, like I would I'd rather give my butler like one of the nicer rooms, maybe. I don't know. I'd ask them. I'd be like, "What room do you want?" And if they wanted this room, I'd be like, "Have it." Otherwise, then I don't know. I don't know what this room would be for though. Otherwise, so I'll put a bedroom in it. It also means this house comes furnished as a 4-bedroom house. So maybe you've got a family where one of the like you've got like some teenagers, and one of the teenagers is like really like, I don't want to speak to anyone. Just leave me on my own in my room all day. They're maybe like a vampire. They hate natural light. So just then it's kind of like the perfect bedroom, I guess. So I guess there's always a scenario where having no windows or just one tiny peephole window works for you. Here we're building just like a little laboratory area. Again, if it was like a superhero's house, they might be using this for like research. I don't really know. I wanted to put a laboratory in it because they're quite handy rooms to have, especially if you're doing like the science career or like you're a doctor. Like, let's go with the kind of laboratory theme. But yeah, so I thought it was ended up being like a cool room, and they're quite nice rooms to furnish as well. I quite enjoy building them. So and it fitted quite well. It's kind of like the perfect shape for a almost like a laboratory area. So that is one of the rooms that you get if you download this house. And then we're just moving upstairs. This is kind of like the main study. The study is probably my least favourite room in the house, not because I don't like the look of the study, it's just I don't like the position of it. So the study basically, off to the side of the study, you've got just a standard toilet, and then you've got a guest bedroom. Like, obviously, it's a little bit like further apart because you've got that dividing wall. But I'd rather the study be maybe upstairs with a master bedroom. Not sure really. But either way, like when I play this game, I tend not to use the studies that much anyway. Because normally I'm just busy doing the career or I'm having a party or whatever. Like offices, like studies in this game, they're nice to have, they're handy to have. And I'd rather have the computer in its dedicated study than in a bedroom. I just think it's better that way in The Sims. In real life, obviously not, because my computer is in my bedroom. In fact, my whole life is basically in my bedroom. Yeah. Talking of which, actually, I'm curious to know in the comments, how many people play this on a desktop, how many people play it on PlayStation or Xbox, and how many people play it on like a laptop? There's no reason why I'm curious, but I'm just interested to know. Just because I know on the Xbox you can use a keyboard and mouse for some games, so if you can on The Sims, I was thinking like that'd be a really good budget way to get this game, because like gaming PCs are really expensive. The one I'm using has a 3070 graphics card, and it cost me an arm and a leg. But my Xbox Series X was like 250 quid. And if it runs The Sims the same way that my gaming computer does it, then it's kind of a no-brainer which one I'd buy. However, obviously an Xbox Series S won't edit videos, it's not a computer, so it's not the same capability. So I'm not saying you should buy an Xbox Series S over a computer. But if literally all you're doing is playing The Sims and you're not uploading videos, and the Xbox Series S works, then that could be a way round, like, to get The Sims running well for a good price. But I haven't actually tried it, so I might try that in a video. Might download it on my Xbox Series S to see how it works, because that'd be something that I'm really interested in trying. Really interesting. Oh yeah, just building the balconies here as well. You can see that we sort of done the master bedroom. I always like putting that kind of like jacuzzi bath, especially in a build like this where it's very luxurious and very peaceful. So and I kind of made it like a statement piece. It's kind of got its own section, so you can just be left up there to have your bath. Ideally, I'd have liked to have it in a separate bathroom, but it didn't really work. But anyway, this is kind of like the master bathroom. Not that special, but I use those interesting sinks. I'm not sure what pack they're from, but if you put them together, they look like they're a counterpiece, but they're not. They're just two individual sinks. But I thought it was really cool, and I think I'll use that again as well. And then, yeah, just finishing up the master bedroom, really. Coming up to the end of the video. I'll put some nice screenshots in at the end, just so that you've got those to look at, because I feel like a lot of people, they watch these videos, and they skip right to the end of the screenshots just to see the end result, which is fair enough if you want to watch it that way. Be my guest. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to watch my videos because I can't and I won't. There's no point. And yeah, just add in like a little area here where I put some camera stuff. If you don't know, but I really love photography in real life, so yeah, thought it's cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying the video, and if you're enjoying the channel, and yeah, comment your build suggestions below. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Cheers, guys. Bye.